Today, our presentation is on why college athletes should be paid for what they are doing. Presenting today is me, Mark Desmond,
Elvis Mendez,
Jay Patel,
and Femi Olai.
and Can Sai. The NCAA watches over all college athletes. They are a national collegiate athletic association. It is a member-led organization dedicated to the well-being and lifelong success of college athletes. The NCAA is a non-profit organization. For the fiscal year, they finally surpassed the 1 billion mark. The NCAA also makes money off of other deals, with CBS making $770 million a year as well. The NCAA makes even more money from the players' names and the brands the players themselves create from playing. Kevin Ware is a student athlete who participated in the March Madness tournament. He had a devastating injury which completely broke his leg. He was forced to pay his own medical bills. He was also unable to play basketball for the coming years, and he might not be able to play basketball at all for the rest of his life. This could end up ruining his scholarship going in that school, and with his medical bills and no scholarship, he could be kicked out of college as well for not being able to pay it.
The problem is that the university is gaining revenue while the college athlete doesn't get a piece of the share. NCAA is a $1 million company who generated $1 billion in 2017. NCAA tournament schedule requires students to miss classes for their nationally televised and to bring money, while they advertise students for them to skip class, for them to being live on TV, which brings revenue to the university. The profits that the university made does not go towards academics. Instead, they go to athletic directors, coaches, and administrations. Coaches, they win bonuses for breaking records, winning championships, bringing their team to playoffs, while the players who actually put in the work doesn't receive a dime.
and some solutions for this problem can be just paying the students a sustainable wage. The money can easily come from the bonuses that the school gets from putting it on the events. Instead of paying their coaches and the administration an extra bonus, they can put that money into the athletes. Give them a decent pay for the time they put into their work. If the school is unwilling to pay, waive their tuition fees, waive their housing fees. Because most of their housing and tuition is the main part of the bill that we all get as students, as we go to college. If the student athlete gets injured while playing, the school should pay for their expenses. Like Kevin Weir, he broke his leg and now he has to pay for his medical expenses, which aren't cheap at all. And with that injury, he may not play basketball ever again, which puts his scholarship in jeopardy, which means he won't be able to go to college if he loses that scholarship. Above all, the students, athletes should be watched, and should be watched for their education. Make sure that they're getting what they're coming here for. Because some teachers will just let the athletes pass by, and especially in Division I schools, where sports are number one.
Players may stay longer for education. They should still be able to pursue an education, not just a sport. They should increase graduation rates, allow fans to see their favorite players mature through college, allows fans to see their favorite players mature through as well. Ensure coaches are preparing athletes as much as possible for the next level. They should also limit corruption from external influences such as the NCAA. They should also be giving the athletes what they deserve. The average Division I player is worth $170,000 per year, and they get none of it. They should also support the student athletes' families as well.
The NCAA can start taking action by allowing players, especially like star athletes, to make money off their likeness, their images, signatures, because as young athletes start coming up in their college days, they start gaining a fan base, and as that fan base increases, it could be potential revenue for the players, but they're not allowed to get a single penny from that, and I personally don't see that as fair. Another way is to let players be the ones who are responsible for any endorsement, any deal, any commercial, any company that wants to use that player as a branding. They should allow the players to make those decisions instead of higher up like a coach or a director or any other representative who kind of just takes advantage of it and pockets the money for themselves. The NCAA could also start capping the salaries of coaches and directors, because coaches and directors for especially D1 colleges are making over millions upon millions each year just off the whole franchise. And like previously said by my peers, players are worth over $100,000 a year, and they don't see a single cent of that kind of money. So if we start limiting the amount of pay these coaches are getting, we can give back to the players who do everything. And lastly, we could start granting players with health insurance, because it's sports, and at the end of the day, people are going to get hurt, people are going to get injured, and some players' families might not be financially stable or might not be able to handle the heavy weight of a big medical bill if the time ever came, God forbid. So if the NCAA started granting players, especially D1 athletes, with health insurance, then it would kind of lessen the burden off the backs of their families. And that is all I have for you guys today.
That was better. I liked it.